Hi, I'm Jake from Jakeology, and I'm here at my county's election commission because we're going to talk about the importance of voting, how to vote, and the history of voting. Let's get nerdy. Let's start with the importance of voting. Why is that important? Because you can! We get to choose the people who represent and make decisions for us. So why shouldn't we vote?
That is an excellent question.
George Washington?
You are correct, sir.
But why are you here?
Because this is important. I can't stay silent any longer.
Nor can I.
Abraham Lincoln? Wait, where's your hat? Where's your iconic hat? Where is it?
Ugh, I wear a hat for a few portraits and everybody thinks I have a hat fetish.
I think you look rather distinguished with the hat. But don't take fashion advice from me. I wear a wig.
But I have silky hair and I don't want to cover it up all the time.
Excuse me, but I'm supposed to be talking about voting and how it's important to America.
I would like to weigh in on why voting is important. Your vote is how you grade politicians. If you don't like the job they're doing, you don't vote for them. Because you select them, your vote makes them pay attention to the things that are important to you. If they don't, then they'll be unemployed at the end of the term.
Second, you get to select the people who share your ideas. Their policies will affect you, so you should choose the candidate whose ideas closely resemble your own.
And if I may be quite frank, you or your parents pay taxes. By voting, you have a voice in how those tax dollars are spent.
Also, you matter. Young voters can use their votes to highlight on things important to our generation and shape the future.
Also, people have fought for the right to vote.
You are...
Frederick Douglass. Before the 15th Amendment passed in 1870, black men couldn't vote. I argued with President Lincoln that if black people could fight for the Union in the Civil War, then they deserved the right to vote.
And women still couldn't vote.
You look angry.
I am. I'm Susan B. Anthony. I tried and tried to make it legal for women to vote during my lifetime. My 3 sisters and I voted in the 1872 presidential election, and I was thrown in jail for it.
When could women vote?
It was another 50 years, 1920.
And some states had so many strings attached that a lot of black men couldn't vote until the 1960s.
Wow! So, how does someone cast a vote?
Not just any person off the street can vote.
To register to vote, you have to be at least 18 years old. Second, you have to be a U.S. citizen. Third, you have to be a resident of the state where you vote. And last, you might not be able to vote if you've committed a felony.
In November, our country will be making a very difficult decision, choosing a president for the United States of America. What does that look like?
We have 2 major parties, the Republican Party and the Democratic Party.
Oh, I do like a good party.
Party? You invited the W and not me.
No, I was talking about political parties.
Well, it's Republican for me.
And Democratic for me.
I warned you guys about political parties, but nobody ever listens.
Each party chooses a candidate, and then those candidates run against each other.
Usually around September and October, there is a series of debates where the candidates get a chance to answer questions and give their stance on issues.
Election Day is in early November. In 1845, Congress passed a law making Election Day the first Tuesday after the first Monday of the month. Voters will walk into the voting facility and, usually electronically, cast a vote on a ballot. Here's a sample ballot that was used in the 2020 election between Donald Trump and Joe Biden.
And the person with the most votes wins?
No, it certainly does not work that way. The person with the most votes doesn't necessarily win.
Our elections are decided by the Electoral College.
Wait, did you say college? I'm a war hero from Tennessee. I haven't been to college.
No worries, Andy. Abe and I have no college either.
The Electoral College is a group of people from each state. In most states, they are elected to cast a vote for the presidential candidate the majority of people in their state have voted for. Each state gets a certain number of electoral votes based on their population.
To give you an idea of how many electoral votes each state gets, Tennessee gets 11. A populated place like New York gets 29. Alaska gets 3. And the state of California gets a whopping 55.
Make sure I understand this, okay? If people in Tennessee vote for someone named Ivana Tinkle, then she gets all 11 of Tennessee's electoral votes?
That is correct.
Okay, let's say that 51% of people in California vote for her. Where did those 55 electoral votes go?
Ivana Tinkle.
Who?
Ivana Tinkle.
Who?
Ah, come on.
Okay. I was just having fun hearing you say Ivana Tinkle. So all of California's votes go to her?
All 55.
The Electoral College casts all of their votes. There are 538 in all, and to become president, a candidate must get 270 of them. The popular vote doesn't make someone president. Right, George?
That's hitting below the belt.
I'm the only president to receive every single electoral vote. Right, George?
Listen, I may have lost the popular vote, but I got more electoral votes than my opponent. And I'm not the only one. It happened in 2016, 2000, and 3 times in the 1800s.
When the votes are counted, the person with 270 electoral votes is sworn in as president at the U.S. Capitol building on January 20th, or January 21st if the 20th happens to fall on a Sunday. The new president will then serve a 4-year term.
Is that the only way someone becomes president?
Nope. I was president, and I never won a single election.
How did that happen?
I was a congressman and was chosen to be vice president when a guy named Spiro Agnew resigned. President Nixon resigned a few months later. I took his place.
I am not a crook.
Only because I pardoned him.
I was elected 4 times. But that won't happen anymore, because the 22nd Amendment now limits a president to 2 terms. I only served 3 full terms, and died 3 months into my 4th term. Here's a fun fact for you, Jake. I created Tennessee Valley Authority.
Hey, my mom works there.
I know. You're welcome for that electricity.
I was vice president, and my president was assassinated. I took office only 6 months after arriving in Washington.
Really? Who's that?
President James Garfield. He was shot at a train station only 4 months after taking office.
I ran against a dead guy.
What?
Well, he was alive on election day, but he died before all the votes were counted.
I was vice president when my president was, shot in a theater.
Me. It was me.
Yeah, sorry, Abe.
And on that note, we should probably wrap this up. If you're old enough to vote, do it. If you're not old enough, then learn all you can so you can make an informative vote in the future. In the state primary races held on August 1st, 2024, Tennessee ranked 51st, dead last in the voter turnout. But there are 50 states, right? Then how did that even happen? Puerto Rico gets to vote. Even Puerto Rico got a higher turnout than Tennessee. And we live in this state.
Well, that's embarrassing.
It's your right to cast your vote.
It's important you are heard.
Right. So get informed. Get registered. Get to the polls, everyone.
Stay nerdy. Roll the outro.
Outro.
So, what do we do now? Do we just go back to being dead? Or what?
I'm not sure. That wasn't mentioned at all in my contract.
I don't know about y'all, but I'm taking my alive self back to Texas. Just don't go toward the light.
I don't like that guy.